We are currently sitting in my newest favorite room of our house, empty room tour. Here I have a 2-page, my due date. I did write a due date because this is our son's nursery. It's time to get started. Hello you guys and welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing well. We are currently sitting in my newest favorite room of our house and it is just an empty room right now with white walls, but we are starting officially today on changing that because this is our son's nursery. I haven't quite yet decided if I want to do one really massive like nursery transformation video or if I'm gonna make it a series. I kind of think I'm leaning towards series because here I have a 2-page list that my husband and I have been working on everything we want to do to this room, and we're gonna really try to tackle this entire list in exactly 10 weeks. So it's gonna be a lot of home projects and construction zone going on around here, but I think I'm gonna do it a series so that it's not like a 2-hour long video and it can be a little more like personalized and in-depth and talking you guys through what we're doing. We're starting this project like now. My father-in-law is coming over this afternoon and Luke is currently at Lowe's getting wood, and they are going to be using a saw and like a work table in our garage to cut wood and start installing board and batten in this room this afternoon. So I very quickly got ready and came up here so I could get all the like empty room tour pre-filming done that I wanted to do. I am 20 weeks and 5 days the day I'm filming this, so we are halfway to meeting baby boy. So it shouldn't be surprising to me at all that we are now needing to tackle the nursery, but I feel like it's something I've dreamt of doing forever. And then I always thought as soon as I found out I was pregnant, we would start working on it. But if you've had a sick first trimester, you know that that doesn't really happen. We found out around 14 weeks that we were having a boy. So then that started the planning design process. I'm a vision board person, so I made like a design board and then we started clearing this room out. This was a guest room slash like catch-all room. We had a queen-size bed in here, a full-length mirror in here. We had a nightstand, a dresser, and the closet was totally full of our stuff. So we like started getting it out and then we've kind of just let it sit for the past month-ish, and it's really been a thing that's like, okay, time to crack down on the nursery, which I'm so excited to do. So we really want to get this list done by my 30-week date and then really only have maybe like accessorizing, like true decorating to do after that point. And I will have to wash all of his clothes and get them put away and do like a little organization system in the drawers, and I'm fine with like all of that kind of stuff being after 30 weeks. But we do have a pretty busy-ish last 10 weeks of the pregnancy, and you also don't know when he's gonna make his arrival, and I just want this room like done. I don't want us like having anything hanging over our heads. So let me go through this list with you so you can kind of start to vision with me what this room will hopefully look like. So the first thing we are doing, like I said, it's just a completely white room. We painted pretty much almost every room in our house just this very snowy, like plain white color, and it's just an empty room now. But we are doing board and batten. This is something that I wanted to do, but I didn't want to like make it an issue, like too much of a feat on my husband. But when he saw pictures of board and batten nurseries, he was like all game. So I'm very lucky that he's really wanting to make this a fun project, a true project in itself. So he has just gotten the wood, like I said, and he got a saw yesterday. And anyways, he and my father-in-law are gonna work on this today on cutting the wood and nailing in the boards. And potentially by tonight, we will have the board and batten installed, which is crazy. But we're doing it on the whole room, all 4 walls. This is a funny room in the fact of it is like a true box. It is a squared off room, which is not the most preferred when you're filling it with nursery furniture because you don't have like a main wall. And I don't know, I think it is gonna be a little bit close corners in here, but it's okay. But we also have not a single wall in this room is like undisturbed. We have a window on this wall, his closet on this wall, the door on this wall, and then this wall right here has a little hobbit door, and it's basically to like an unfinished attic insulated room situation. So there is something on every wall that we will be working around. Then we will be painting the board and batten. I want to go pick out our paint color potentially by the end of the week. I think that my goal is to get it down to 2 or 3 tops and get samples and then do little sample swatches. But I really want to go with something super, super light zen baby blue, and we're going to paint the board and batten. Our plan right now is to leave the top half the white and see what it looks like at that point. I don't really think I want to paint the top half. I was kind of interested in like wallpaper, but I don't know. I think that I don't want it to feel like it's closing in on us. So anyways, this is, I think it'll probably end up being the color it is right now, which will be nice as far as like one last step. And then we are going to be taking the closet doors off and making his closet a little closet nook. This may seem controversial or problematic to some, because I do understand that if your closet's a mess, you can just like shut off the doors and it's not like as visible. I'm hoping this makes his closet stay more organized, but I've seen like the beautiful IKEA closet systems, which we are going to install. And I don't know, it's just like a tight room, and I feel like that'll kind of like broaden it and make it seem bigger and more open. But we also have like, these closet doors are kind of broken. They stick on the latch, and they're very, very noisy and troublesome to open at times, which would be not ideal if you're having a sleeping baby on you to be yanking on closet doors. But also because there is a window right here, his dresser is going to go on this like half of this wall over here, and if you have the closet doors on, then it becomes an issue opening the door where it's going to hit the dresser. So I think that it's just going to be all around a better idea. But we are going to install the IKEA closet system in there, and we're going to paint the inside of the closet the color we were painting the board and batten. So it'll kind of be like a little continuation. And then we've also decided to redo this bathroom up here. It is our second bath, guest bathroom, but it's going to be his bathroom technically. It is a tub and a shower situation, and then a small sink and storage situation, toilet. It's not a big room, but it is currently a very bold like peacock blue color. That's what we painted our bonus room and our laundry room and our half bath and this bath. So anyways, we're gonna paint it the same color as this blue, so it's kind of gonna carry throughout. And I think it'll be nice with the like beige color that I painted the cabinets 2 years ago. And Luke actually had the idea of trying to redo the flooring himself. We redid our floors on the entire downstairs level, I guess like 2.5-ish years ago at this point. I can't really remember, but we have kicked ourselves ever since doing it, because we really completely forgot about this small second bathroom upstairs, which still has the laminate tile from the old, and it's the smallest room, and it would have been like really hardly any additional cost to have them do it, but bringing the team to do it for a whole new thing is very expensive for that one small room. So I need to reach out to our flooring and see if we are able to just buy a box of the flooring outright, and Luke's gonna try and install it himself, which I have more faith in him now because he redid this stage at our church recently and like cut the flooring and stuff for that. So like he kind of like knows now a little bit better. And like I said, we're gonna pull off those closet doors. That may be a thing that gets done today actually as well. We shall see. The next thing is the ceiling. We're going to clean the ceiling. That sounds really silly, but there's a vent in here, and all around the vent on the ceiling, it's like dusty or dirty. I really think this is not a large task. It's not like painting or anything. I just think we need to get like a scrub daddy or magic eraser or something and clean the ceiling, but it is on here because it needs to be done. We also need to do some little touch-ups on the trim and the doors because they've just had scratches and nicks and dings and such like that along the way. The next thing is to clean and stretch the carpet. Once all the painting has been done in here, we need to go around the baseboards and really like clean the carpets. There's a stain in the middle of the floor, which was here when we bought the house, and I really don't know if it can come out, but I would really like to try. But around the door, like the entrance to the nursery, there is a place that the carpet's like gathered, so we also just want to get it stretched out. And then it will be time to build the furniture, which 2 of our 3 furniture pieces that we have ordered are already in our garage because they shipped immediately and got delivered pretty quickly. So we need to do that. We need to build it, but obviously we won't be bringing them up and building them until the walls are done. So it's kind of all in a little bit of an order. The next thing is, I don't think y'all can see, but there's a ceiling fan in here, and we're gonna pull it out and completely replace it with a hanging pendant, like lighting pendant. There's some really beautiful rattan like basket ones on Amazon that are really inexpensive. So that's my plan. I'm also like not really a huge fan of the big ceiling lights. We don't turn them on in many rooms rooms period, but I think it will completely change the vibe in here having that lighting pendant instead of the big like dark fan that's in here. Potentially lay a rug. I would love to have a rug. However, this is the one thing I can see getting kicked off my list financially if we can't find a rug at a decent price. And also I want to see all the furniture layout and stuff, because it could make it seem really close quarters if like the rug is touching everything. I don't know. We'll just kind of have to see how it goes, but I do love the vibe of a rug in here. And then the last thing are wall hangings and decor. And I guess like that is what I'm kind of saying could go into like my 30th week and beyond. But the main wall hangings that are like needing to be anchored potentially, like aren't just light little decor pieces, I would like to get those done. And my due date, I did write a due date for all of these things, is April 24th. A day before my birthday, so happy birthday to me if we actually can get all of this stuff done by then. So that's everything on our list. We have quite a hefty list. I feel like it's going to be, just like I said, the complete construction zone, demo zone in here for next upwards of 10 weeks. But I feel like if we can tackle this board and batten pretty quickly, then that will be promising, because I did not think it would be quick. So I'll show you guys a little 180 of the room, and then it's time to get started. So here is the room. Like I said, it is literally a white box, but here's our door. I'm gonna close it so you can really see, but we have this wall over here. Like I said, we have the closet. There's honestly so much in the closet already, clothing wise and things we've gotten in so far. So this is like a smaller wall, but over here, what I am planning to do, oh, it's gonna not focus here. What I am planning to do over here is put a small little bookshelf, because I do want to collect some little books and like little toys could be on it. And in this corner, do a faux plant. I really love the look of that. Then we have the closet, which the doors will be coming off. It's gonna be a totally new look. And then we have this wall, which has our window on it. On this wall right here, I want to do his dresser. It's not wanting to focus because there's like nothing in here. But I want to do his dresser on this wall and a bunch of decor because it goes up really high. Lots of wall hangings and such. On this wall, this one's going to be the crib wall because it is probably the most unobstructed wall. The plan is the glider to kind of block off the little hobbit door situation. And then over here on this side to do the crib. This wall kind of stinks because it has a slant on it, as you can see. So we are kind of dealing with that on that wall. And then we have this wall, which has the door. Like I said, the glider will be like in this corner, and that's probably going to be just about everything. We might do some little floating shelves above, but it just depends. It depends how much clearance the actual door to the room has with like the glider, because we obviously don't want it to like knock into any floating shelves. So if we do any floating shelves, it'll be probably like really right there or anything, you know. Here is what I'm talking about with the ceiling, where it just needs to be cleaned. And here is our fan. It's just a really dark wood, which we're not really incorporating any dark wood. And this is not my vibe at all, especially for a nursery, because it really feels like it's taking over the room. So that's the room. Let's get started. Hello, I am going to get some lunch right now. It is the next day, actually, since I filmed the previous like sit down chat clip, and I am just so amazed at what Luke and his dad got done in not even one whole day. Like they started at like 2 o'clock yesterday, and with Luke just having like the boards of wood from Lowe's, and then at like 8 o'clock last night they were completely done with board and batten. So Luke's got wood putty up there now because there are a few like very small little cracks where the boards didn't go completely flush, and he's filling that in. So that's what he's doing now, but it's all happening like so much faster than I thought. guys, well it is the next day and I'm back in baby boy's nursery right now. Luke laid paper like all over the ground, so that's what you hear as I'm walking on it. But we did decide on a paint color. I feel like we both, like, after doing the swatches, knew pretty quickly which color we were going with. And this is just your PSA to always trust your instinct. I still think it's fun to do swatches. It's part of the painting process. And it's just affirmed me that I'm picking the right choice. I don't have any question or hesitation, but the color we decided to go with is the one that actually, when I first, like, weeks ago started looking at swatch colors, was like the one that I was like so drawn to. And then of course I got very deep into the Sherwin-Williams website. I had found like upwards of like 10 pretty similar-ish blue colors, and then got like so deep in this hole. Luke and I like solidified some that we liked. We then went to Lowe's, edited a little bit after looking at physical like paint swatches instead of a screen, because it is a little different. And the one we actually picked, there wasn't a swatch. Like I could not find a swatch in Lowe's to save my life, but there was something in me that was still like, I really still want to get this one. And so we went with 4 colors, 3 that we really like the swatches of, and then this one. And then we did the testers yesterday. We did our like little sample strips, and both of us pretty quickly were like, yeah, that's the one. So it's the one I've loved since the beginning, but I still, like I said, have no regrets for picking out multiple, because now I have little sample jars of like 4 beautiful, beautiful blue paint colors that I definitely want to use with some kind of project in the future because they are stunning. But the one we had decided to go with is Sherwin-Williams Moon Mist. As I'm looking at them here in this well-lit room, because it's pretty much like mid-afternoon-ish, this is like our little swatch board, and it is the top left one right here, kind of like that number 1, if you will. And I feel like we just love it because the one under it is a little too periwinkle. Luke sees more purple in it, and I mean, I kind of agree. It's a little dark, but I love it. I think it's still very calming. So like I said, that one right here, I still will definitely use the paint for something. This one over here on our far top, this one is called Little Boy Blue, and it's very similar to Moon Mist, but it's a little more like minty, seafoamy colored, and I think it's a little too light. Maybe just a tad too light. And then this one on the bottom is called Something Blue. It is a perfect baby blue, if I'm being totally honest, but it is very bright baby blue. And I just wanted this room to stay very calming, very zen. Like I've said, we have it as a pretty small-ish room, and I feel like keeping it lighter and softer will keep it more open feeling and not so much going on. So this is the one we are going with. Like I said, it's called Moon Mist. The code number is SW9144 if you want to give that a check. If you have a little boy that you want to decorate their room and paint something, honestly, this would be gorgeous for a little girl too, because it is just really, really simple and classy. But Luke is home with the paint, so that is the next step. Hello, you guys. It is about a week, I think, later since I've last updated you. And as you can tell, we have painted board and batten. My husband has done such a good job at this, and he bought a sprayer, and that gave him like his base, and it was so fast. And then he's gone in and done touch-up work. We are about to finish painting the board and batten, doing some really detailed touch-up work on the trim work, the board and batten itself, and then the white above where some like little specks of blue have gotten. But it is just about done, and I'm really close to showing you the finished product, hopefully today. right, you guys, we have finished up all of the painting on the board and batten and in the main room. Obviously, we have our closet still left to do, which will be probably the next part that we get to, either that or the bathroom. I hope you have enjoyed seeing the progress and seeing all the little clips. It is the most gorgeous blue. I'm so happy with how it turned out, and I cannot wait for him to be living in this room. So please give this video a big like, a big thumbs up would be so appreciated. Comment down below and subscribe if you're not already. We'd love to have you here as we continue on with this nursery series and explore motherhood. So I'll see you guys in the next one.